Welcome to this new video on Forza Horizon 6, in which I'm simply going to show you the best drift cars. Please note, this video will really cover all aspects of drifting in Forza Horizon 6. I'm also going to show you the best cars to complete the drift zones, let's say in the open world. All the zones that are represented, for example, by this little logo. I'll also show you the best cars for completing the famous dirt drift zones, since Forza Horizon 6 has off-road drift zones too. And then I'll show you all the drift cars that I recommend you use in the different performance categories for multiplayer, especially for those who are going to play Horizon Play in drift mode here. So each time, I'll show you the best cars and also the tunes I recommend. And if there are cars that have a special unlock, meaning cars you can't get by buying them directly at the new car dealership, I'll also show you how to unlock them in this Forza Horizon 6. If you have other recommendations, share them in the comments and include tuning codes if possible. It will be helpful for future visitors. And if this video gave you a little help, don't hesitate to show it by leaving a like and subscribing for the next videos. Since I make a lot of guide videos on Horizon 6, I think there are plenty of videos I've made and will make that will be useful to you. We'll start by talking about the traditional drift zones, the ones you'll recognize by this little logo on the pavement. I'll start by recommending 3 cars that I think are really very good. I'll show you the tunes for these cars a little later in this video, because we'll have a chance to talk about them again when we go through each category. Meanwhile, I recommend 3 cars to complete the open world drift zones. The first one is the Nissan from Formula Drift, number 777. It's actually a very good drift car. And on top of that, it's a car you can get for free, since this car is the final reward for completing the drift story with all the stars, which is right here, which honestly isn't very difficult. It's much easier than the drift story in Forza Horizon 5. So it's very easy to get all the stars, and indeed, this car will be given to you. Like all the Formula Drift cars, it's a very good drift car. It's not necessarily the best, but it's still a car that's extremely easy to handle. Also, to complete the drift zones on asphalt, you'll also find the Formula Drift Toyota Supra, number 34. It's an excellent drift car. It's very easy to maneuver, and there are tons of setups offered by the community to really make it an incredible car for getting high scores. And the best part is that this car is available at the new car dealership, and it's not even expensive. You can get it for 177,000 credits. After that, you need to invest a little in upgrades for the car. But honestly, it's a beast, and it's actually one of the easiest cars to get in Formula Drift. And then, there's my favorite, and I really think it's one of the best drift cars in the game. Across all categories, the Dodge Viper Formula Drift. However, it's a car that's pretty hard to get. This car, you can't buy it at the dealership, and you also can't unlock it by completing different events in the game. The only way to get it is to win it in a random draw. So it's a car that's very hard to get because, well, you really need to be lucky. Or you have to buy it used at the auction house, but since it's very rare, it's very expensive. And honestly, you don't really need to have it to complete all the areas with 3 stars. But let's just say, with this car, everything becomes super easy. Even the big drift zone at the bottom of the map where you need to score 340,000, I completed it on the first try with 350,000 points using the Viper, just like that. So it's definitely a car that's super easy to drift, super easy to control, that scores a lot in drift, and it still has a little special feature. It's really a car that you can throw into a 90-degree angle and recover very easily. Or even hold the drift at a 90-degree angle, and honestly, when you do that, the game gives you absolutely insane scores. So the angle is crazy and it's an extremely easy car to control. For off-road drifting, which is a separate topic, I'll show you the settings later when we discuss this vehicle again. I recommend the Honda Acti. It's a tiny truck that's incredible for drifting. It's not just amazing on dirt, but honestly, on dirt, I think it's one of the best in the game. You can also put it at 90 degrees, extend your drifts pretty easily, and keep very good control over it. And this vehicle has another special feature. The Honda Acti is actually one of the cheapest vehicles in the game. So, in addition to being literally one of the best drift vehicles, it's also a vehicle that costs almost nothing. Honestly, everyone can afford it. It's available at the dealership, and if I'm not mistaken, I think it costs 7,500 credits. So really, it's almost free. You can buy it immediately in Forza Horizon 6. Behind the wheel, it's a beast. I think I just broke my record effortlessly, even while commenting and not fully focused, still getting amazing scores. Here, I've shown you the 3 vehicles I recommend for completing drift challenges in the open world, which have no performance or category restrictions. Now, I'm going to show you the best drift cars by category. And here, I'll show you all the tuning setups. Just before that, a quick reminder. Don't forget that to drift well in Forza Horizon 6, you really need to turn off traction control and stability control. Otherwise, the game gives your cars too much grip and stops you from drifting. You can also turn on the drift camera, which I personally hate. That's why I don't use it. It's like the cruise drift camera that sticks to the front of the vehicle. Some people like it, and for some, it can even help them better understand where the vehicle is going while drifting. I think it's awful, but there's a drift camera option. And because the drift zones in Forza Horizon 6 are harder to complete than those in Forza Horizon 5, and often longer too, you can give yourself a little extra boost to stay focused on the game for a long time by drinking Ollie beverages, which sponsor this video. It's enjoyable to drink with fruity flavors, not too sweet, and very refreshing, especially as hot days arrive with summer 2026 approaching. Indeed, on top of that, the Ollie Energy range gives you a little extra energy boost that helps you stay focused for a long time on this kind of game to complete drift zones, and in short, to spend many hours on it without getting tired. There are literally dozens of different flavors. Personally, I recommend the cherry one. It's really my favorite. And for those who don't know what to choose, there are discovery packs that offer you lots of different flavors from all the Ollie drink ranges. And if you order with the code Equinox, you get a 10 off. I'll put the links to the Ollie website below this video in the description and in a pinned comment. That gives you some nice little drinks, cheaper and less sweet than traditional sodas, and it also lets you support my channel at the same time. Thanks to those who took a quick look, thanks to Ollie for being the partner of my YouTube channel, and now let's get started with the best drift cars in each category. We're going to start with the lowest performance categories, Category D, and then we'll gradually move up to the best category in the game, Category X. Keep in mind that for now, in Horizon play, it seems that in multiplayer, the drift events only go from Category A to Category S2. Still, it can be useful to know which are the best drift cars in the other categories, because later in the festival section, there's a good chance there will be drift events with lower or higher categories than that. Indeed, we'll start with Category D, and what works really well in Category D for drifting in this game are power builds, meaning taking extremely powerful cars with really poor handling. This allows you to have cars that slide a lot, that are really good for drifting, but that won't move up in performance category and will really stay in the lower categories. For that, I have one in particular to recommend to you. Honestly, I think it's a beast for drifting in Category D. Of course, it's nothing compared to the scores you'll get in Category S1 or S2. But still, in Category D, it's an incredible car. I recommend the 1955 Chevrolet Utility Sedan. You can buy this car at the dealership for 133,000 credits. Next, you'll apply the setup I'm about to show you. It's the one that will appear here. 150, 603, 250s. This is a setup specially made for drifting in Category D. And well, as you can see, it works very well. And we're going to complete our drift zone without any difficulty, even though we're literally in the lowest performance category. So obviously, don't expect to have the most maneuverable cars in the world either. Here, we're really dealing with cars that drift thanks to their power. Once you get the hang of it, you can rack up huge scores even by participating in the smallest drift categories. By the way, let me remind you that if you want to learn the basics of drift driving in Forza Horizon 6 and how to tune your own drift cars, I've made a little drift tuning and driving tutorial on my YouTube channel. You can go check it out. It might give you a little boost. We'll move to C-Class now, where we'll see the Honda Acti I recommended earlier for off-road drifting. As I was saying earlier, it's also a very good vehicle for drifting on asphalt, and it's a really great car for getting good drift scores in C-Class. So, I'm going to show you the setup that I personally used. It's this one with the code 124, 118, 135. This will give you a small, ultra-maneuverable drift truck with which you really need to focus more on angle than on speed. Remember, we're still in C-Class here, so we're in a lower drift category. Don't expect to be drifting at 150 or 250 km/h. So here, you really need to focus on angle. And since it's super small and with the physics of Forza Horizon 6, you have a lot of control over this kind of vehicle, well, you really need to take big angles. And at the last moment, if you start to feel like you've lost control, you can recover it pretty easily and get it back on track. So really, it's an excellent drift vehicle. However, it's really more about focusing on angle than on speed. This is not a joke. Next, in D-Class, we'll find the BMW iZeta again. Even though overall, the drift meta in Forza Horizon 6 is very different from the drift meta in Forza Horizon 5, well, the iZeta is still something crazy. Look at the scores we're going to hit. Look at the angles we're taking. And look at how smooth this thing is. It's insane. You can make it take absolutely incredible angles and extend the drift. But it's just so easy, it's crazy. Honestly, this car, in B class, drifts even better. Overall, you actually get higher scores with this car than with some cars that I'll show you later, in S1 for example. This one is absolutely insane, and I definitely recommend it. BMW i Zeta, which you can get at the new car dealership for not that much, 80,000 credits. And you're going to use this setup with this share code. It's absolutely incredible. Next, we have this. So it's not the Nissan Skyline R34, even though it has the same front. It's the Nissan Stagea, which, as a reminder, lets you swap in the R34 front end. Stagea in A-Class. Absolutely incredible. One of the best drift cars in the game, period. With a top A-Class tune that I think is one of the best setups in the world, period. So really, it's a car with which you'll be able to get absolutely incredible scores as well. So here, we're more into power drifting. That means we're drifting more thanks to the power of the vehicle, rather than really focusing on the angle. You can still get good angles. That's it. It's great content, and you can get impressive scores too. Really super easily. Very good control. Plus, it's a medium-sized car. That's also why we may focus less on the angle and more on power and control. And it's a car, on top of that you'll be able to buy, I think, at the dealership. It's not expensive. 19,000 credits. Then, you have to invest a little in it for the setup, because at this point, nothing is stock anymore. But, this car is absolutely insane too. Honestly, it's a car that can also be used very well in the open world to easily complete drift zones. And also, actually, in Horizon Play, in Category A, well, everyone uses it because it's simply a beast. Honestly, use this setup even if you see others that are really at A700. So far, I haven't found anything better than the setup that's at A699 with this share code. In S1, I'm going to have several cars to recommend to you. First, obviously, 2 Formula Drift cars. Remember, in the intro of the video, I told you we were going to see them again. Well, here it is, the Nissan Formula Drift that I showed you earlier. In S1, it's definitely very meta. It's a car that will drift just as well on big, wide, high-speed corners as on tight turns. I recommend this setup with this code on the Nissan. We'll see the Formula Drift Viper again. As I mentioned, it's one of the top drift cars in the game, so it appears in the highest categories. I recommend this setup here. And next, I'm going to show you another car that you can use with this setup I'm showing on the screen. It's the Toyota Tachizer. Personally, I would put it a little below the Viper and the Nissan, which are really extremely meta in S1. But the advantage of the Toyota Tachizer that I'm showing you here, is that this car, you'll be able to buy it at the dealership. It's actually one of the only meta cars in the S1 category that you can buy at any time. You don't need to unlock it in story mode, or unlock it in the logbook, or unlock it through a random draw. So the advantage is that it's a car everyone can have. It's a really good drift car, actually. And on top of that, it's a car that costs next to nothing. Really, it's not expensive. It'll cost $19,700 at the dealership. And on top of that, the setup I'm showing you right now costs about 90,000 credits. So as you can see, that gives you an excellent drift car for 100,000 credits. Whereas anyway, most Formula Drift cars cost almost 200,000 with upgrades, and sometimes you can't even buy them. And sometimes, they're even worse than this one. Actually, I'm not talking much about the other Formula Drift cars in this video because, apart from the Nissan, the Viper, and another one I'll mention later, they're really not that good in the end. Not as good as regular cars that are well-tuned. In S2, we'll also find the Dodge Viper that I showed you earlier, with another setup, which is this one. And then we'll find the Toyota Supra from Formula Drift, which is also a rocket. For the S2 class and the R class, I also suggest the Supra as an alternative to the Viper, for the simple reason that, as I explained earlier, you can buy the Supra at the dealership, whereas you can't buy the Viper. And for those who really want to drift in the biggest category of the game, with this setup, you can install it on the Ferrari F40 competition. And honestly, it's a bit silly to do that because, well, as I was saying, that category isn't even available in Horizon Play for drifting anyway. And anyway, in X, the cars that go into X are really ultra-fast race cars. Normally, they're not made for drifting at all. So yes, with the F40 competition and with other cars in X, you can drift pretty decently thanks to their power. But they're not the best. Actually, the best drift scores in this game are achieved with S1, S2, and maybe R category cars. Anything above or below that is less competitive. In X, those are mainly race cars not built for drifting. But if you want a drift car in X, if one day the game gives you a challenge in X, and you have to drift in that category, then yes, you can use the F40 competition with the setup I showed you. Normally, you've now got a pretty nice list of cars you can drift with in Forza Horizon 6. Normally, all of these will let you get really good positions, whether it's in drift zones, in multiplayer, or just with your friends, or simply to enjoy drifting in Forza Horizon 6. I hope this video has given you a good bit of help. If that's the case, of course, don't hesitate to check out Ollie, the sponsor of this video, to get some good, refreshing drinks to enjoy this summer that will give you energy and help you stay focused on Forza Horizon 6. Follow me on Twitch for regular live streams with the community playing Forza Horizon 6 multiplayer. Use the link in the pinned comment by Viralinks. Don't hesitate to use your Prime to support my channel. Don't forget that under this video, you'll also find my instant gaming link, which allows you to buy your games much cheaper than elsewhere while supporting my channel at the same time. I'll end here. See you soon for a new video. Bye.